Hello, my dear friends. I hope you are doing well. Dr. Mustafa Morshid, soon to be Dr. Natalie, and soon to be Dr. Kautar. Thank you for making it, or for always making it on time. Thank you, Si Zubair. Ahlan wa sahlan. Hello, everyone. Ahlan Zaina. Hello. I hope you are doing well. Faiza, ahlan wa sahlan. Mamshid, I hope you are doing well. Si Zubair, glad to see you again. Thank you so much, Si Zubair. Hajar, thank you. Hello, Hajar, thank you, of course. Duja, good evening. Natalie, thank you. She says, thank you so much. Okay, Fatih, hello. So I think more people are coming, which means that we can wait for a few, perhaps, few minutes, and 10 minutes, perhaps. 5-10 minutes, then we will start our discussion on issues relating to phonetics and phonology. Fatih, hello. Ustad Atimad, ahlan wa sahlan. Hello. I hope you're doing well, everyone here. Ustad Miriam Marouf, profuse thanks. Thank you so much, Miriam. Sumia, ahlan wa sahlan. Thank you so much, Sumia. Thank you for always being there, because you were one of the first to support this channel. I remember it was during the first week that you started sharing the link. Thank you so much. It's really nice of you. Natalie, thank you. Ustada Zahra, ahlan wa sahlan. Nice to have you with us here, Professor Zuhra. Okay. Ahlan, Ustada Umayma. Dr. Umayma, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Si Mustafa. Thank you. Fatiha, hello. Fatiha, hello, everyone. Well, Sumia, thank you. Thank you so much, Sumia. Thank you. Nuhaila is with us as well. Hello. Khadija Eid Mulay, hello. Hello, everyone. Nice to have you here. Needless to ask you, Paul, if there is this possibility for sharing. Otherwise, if you feel that it's a bit burdensome, then there is no problem. Si Nafia, ahlan wa sahlan, Mr. Nafia, how are you? Azul, Tikburin TV. Azul, Meidani or Manzakin, I don't know. I think from your profile picture, I think it's Manzaki, because that reminds me of Ruwais, Demsiri, and okay. ترحم ربي. Okay. شلهاد قيد حقا. Natalie, nice to have you as well in this live. Okay. All right. I don't know whether this is addressed to me or to someone, but anyway, and you in English is a plural, so I am part of it anyway. Guys, can you please share the link? Thank you so much, Sumia, Usama. Hello, Si Uthman. Ahlan wa sahlan. The dedicated Uthman. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you so much. Really nice. Ayub, hello. Mr. Tekbori Manzakin, it's actually the picture of Rais Mohammed Demsiri. All right, so حقنا جلحات كي توما ماني داك لي تغيلا وقادير نغد كران بلاصتي ضنين. Okay, that's really nice. That's good. I like the songs of Abdel Hadi. Abdel Hadi, Izenzar, and ماذا اسم وياض Ali Shuhad, خلاص, Udad and the others. Okay, so thank you. Jihad, ahlan wa sahlan. I hope everyone is doing well here. I think more people are joining, so it's good to defer it somehow. Sweet potato, look at the nice names that I have here. I have the alveolar ridge, sweet potato, kingdom of animals. I have some names that I believe are nice names anyway. They are like salt in food. Okay, potato phonology says, hello, Zubair, مرحبا, كتين غير كنت ديت نكي اوي اوي نكي يا مقر كيرستين غير مش كيرسا وقتاش لحيت نيش الحي نسواسة. Sinafia, I have been writing my thesis today. It just came to take some energy from you. Oh, thank you so much, Sinafia. Thank you. I wish you all the best in the writing process. You are an outstanding student, so I am sure you will make it with a brilliant success, and you will crown this with a defense that will be remarkable. Inshallah. Light FF, hello. Mr. Tipurin, Imin Tanout. That's nice. Thank you. Yeah, Imin Tanout. Yeah, Kiri Imin Tanout, of course. Imin Tanout on the way to Shishawa. All right, nice. That's good. Sweet potato. What your professor like? Show love. Anyway, your presence shows a lot of love. Just the presence or the live. If it's not possible, there is no problem with that. UM5 Lalla Malika. Good evening, Lalla Malika. I hope you're doing well. Si Mustafa, hello, Professor. We're going to have phonologic process if you wish. So I will agree with you. I will consult you on how to proceed with phonology and phonetics, of course. So let me just spend a few minutes, and then we will agree on how to proceed. I am here to answer your questions in phonetics and phonology. There is no problem with that whatsoever. سي عثمان سيول الأستاذ ستريفيت أنسفيلد شوية. I think the only one I have who speaks Sterifit here is الأستاذة الأستاذة فايزة أشفيعة. I think she's the one who speaks Sterifit here. And then, of course, if I am addressed in Sterifit, then I can respond with no problem at all. See, Ayub, can you show us how we can analyze phonological data? Of course, I am here just for that. There is no problem with that. I can show you these things without any problems, to the best of my knowledge, of course. Okay, Meme Smith, hello, everyone. Evrian, okay. Meme Smith, thank you for making it that funny. I don't know, it's a mistake, but if it's not intended, it's still funny, so it's fine. Is it true that there are 3 varieties of Amazigh and they are mutually unintelligible? Light FF. Yeah, it's first. I like the fact that you have used varieties instead of dialects, but it's true. You know, the Amazigh language is customarily divided into 3 major varieties. Terifit spoken in the northern parts of Morocco. In the Middle Atlas, you have Tamazight, and then south, towards the region of Agadir, Terud, and Sidi Ifni, that's Tashlihit, Marrakesh as well. But there are other varieties, like the Figig variety. It's a transitional variety, and the variety spoken around Warzazat, Qalat, and Guna is part of it is Tamazight, the other part is Tashlihit, of course. Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, Othman, what is money in Terifit? Yeah, in money in Terifit, you can call it Tmaniyat. Tmaniyat means give me money, or Thin Ashi. So these are the 2 major words that that the Rifis use to refer to money. Okay. Nekuzu Chan, hello, Professor. Thank you so much for your efforts. Thank you for helping. You are most welcome. You are wholeheartedly welcome, my dear friend. Okay, nice. So if there is any translation I can have, waiting for more people to join, and then I can translate things for you without any problem whatsoever. Anyway, so maybe in 1 minute we'll start. But before that, let's agree on how to start. Do you prefer, because I see that the students who have kindly asked me for this live session, initially I wanted to have a syntax session, but I found out that there is some insistence from a number of students in the private, and I wanted to just break that routine. So maybe today we will break that with phonology and phonetics, and tomorrow we'll come back to the to syntax, and we will continue as long as you are in a reasonable number. Now it's 47, so I think I'm talking to an audience here that can take part in the discussion, and that the people who can, of course, benefit from what we are going to talk about. Zaina, that's true. That's how we say it in Tashlihit, of course. Zubair, wow, he says, okay, he was wondering, he was marveling probably at the words. Anyway, my friends, let me just agree on how we can proceed. Do you prefer, my friends? So you write that in the comments. So Rawan, wallah, we appreciate. Thank you so much, Rawan. Thank you. Okay, so if you would like to, you write 1 or 2 after. So let me give you the prompt, and you answer by writing 1 or 2. Would you like us to proceed with questions and answers? Questions from you and then answers from me, and then we can have a whole session on that. That's way number one. If you want it like this, then you type number one. Now, if you want it the way, in the second way, then I can also proceed the second way. The second way says, the second one says, the second way is that I start describing consonants and vowels. That's phonetics, because and then we will see if we can have our session just on these descriptions of phonetics and the voice, place, and manner of articulation. And then, of course, after I reserve a space for questions from you, and then we'll have part two on another day. Then I would be very happy to do that. I see. Let me count. So one. Let me count the twos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then against, I think, 2 ones. 2. Most people are in favor of 2. Can you please talk about the ordering, especially feeding and bleeding? Not now. Light FF, because that presupposes the knowledge of phonetics, of distinctive features, of rules. That's the role ordering is really, really in generative phonology, especially in the standard theory. It's usually the last course. It's usually the last chapter. So I would prefer that we'll leave this for another occasion. Otherwise, let me tell you loud and clear that very few would be willing to follow, because that they may not really understand the rules there, because they need to know what processes are and how we can account for them in terms of phonological rules, and how we can avoid redundancy, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's start. Let me remember so that I can cut this first part, so that I will make life easy for those who will come back to watch the video later. So it's 12 minutes. I will cut 12 minutes immediately after this live, maybe 1 hour after this live, so that the ones who would like to come later on will find it easy, because this is going to be, the message will be direct. So you will find me starting talking about phonology rather than greeting people. Very good. So let's start. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to in response to the request made by a number of our friends here on Facebook. They have requested me to talk about phonetics and phonology. I even went further than this in asking what has been covered in the class of phonetics and phonology, and I received what looks like a table of content, and I gathered that the ideal way of dealing with this is to start with phonetics. Why precisely phonetics? It's because phonetics presupposes or is a presupposition, in a sense. It's a prerequisite for the understanding of phonology. The question is, can you do phonology without phonetics? The answer, my friends, unfortunately, is no. You cannot do phonology if you don't know about the place of articulation, manner of articulation, voicing, and you need to know about the tongue height when you describe vowels, whether the vowel is front or back, and whether there is lip rounding or not, and so on and so forth. Only then would it be possible for you to do phonology. Phonology is a very phonetic field. Before phonology was phonology, there was something called phonetics, of course, even historically. Okay, Mustafa says phonetics is of paramount importance in phonological analysis. That's for sure. Okay, now let me just start phonetics. Let me start from scratch. From scratch means from point zero. What is this phonetics? What do you mean by phonetics? Phonetics, very quickly, phonetics is the subfield of linguistics which undertakes the study of, which focuses on the study of speech sounds. Speech sounds. What are speech sounds? What are sounds? Okay, look at this. This is a clap. Is it a sound? Yes, it is a sound, because you can hear something. It's a sound. Is this a sound? Yes, it is, because you can hear something. Yes, we are starting from point zero, Hanan. Yes. So we are talking about sounds. Now, what is the difference between a sound and a speech sound? In phonetics, very quickly, a speech sound is a sound that we use when we talk. That's a sound. This is not a sound, but p is okay is a sound, but not a speech sound. P is a sound and it's a speech sound. Why? Because I can produce a word where I have p, like park, like keep, etc. Th, is it a speech sound? Yes, it is a speech sound. Why? Because I can say three. Is it true that sorry, who feels that I have problems with the internet, please? Who feels that there is a problem with the internet? It's working. Thank you. I think that there is a problem on your side, I guess. But anyway, let me continue as long as there is no interruption. Very good. Okay. So I talk about speech sound. I talked about speech sound, as referring to a sound, an audible sound that comes to us in a series of waves. And let me say this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I did not greet you at the beginning. I wanted to do that, but something happened and I forgot. So hello, Sada Samia. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so a speech sound, contrary to what a sound is, a speech sound, I insist on this, is the sound that can be used in words. V is a speech sound because you can say very. Is not a speech sound because you cannot produce a word where one of the sounds is this, the cough. See? Good. So this is settled. Now, the science of phonetics is divided into 3 sub-branches, and you may have this as a general question on the day of the exam. Okay? Good. So hello, Omar. What are the subfields of phonetics? In phonetics, we have 3 branches. If the professor covered that with you, then you have to listen to me. If not, just have this as a general piece of information and you may not need to understand it. Anyway, this is very quick. In phonetics, we have 3 branches. 3. The first one describes the life of a sound from the lungs when it's produced through the air, when it's initiated from the lungs, that's the air stream, to the vocal cords. We're going to talk about them in a moment, and then up to its execution at the level of the mouth. So the field, the type of phonetics that studies the life of a sound until after it gets out of the mouth is called articulatory phonetics. This is called articulatory. It's how a sound is articulated. For example, in articulatory phonetics, this is exactly what we will be doing. And by the way, phonology is heavily based on articulatory phonetics. You see? So articulatory phonetics tells us, for example, about the airstream mechanism and whether the vocal cords are vibrating or not, and the structure of approximation between the place of articulation involved, the manner of articulation, etc. Okay, so this is called articulatory phonetics. There is another type of phonetics which is rarely studied locally in Morocco. It's when you have the speaker and the here and the here. So when the sound travels from the mouth of the speaker until it reaches the ear of the hearer, it's usually formed of the sound waves. So the sound waves in the air, there is a branch of phonetics that studies these sound waves in the air, and this is called acoustic phonetics. So we call this acoustic phonetics. Usually, when you want to study acoustic phonetics, you need to have instruments. You need a laboratory. You need to have a spectrogram or whatever. Okay, and then there is a third branch of phonetics called auditory phonetics. It's how the sound, it's from the ear to the brain. What happens in the course of interpreting this sound as t, for example. You see, so all in all, we have a branch of phonetics that stops here, from here until here. This is articulatory phonetics, and we have another branch that studies its voyage, its journey, to the ear, in the air. That's called acoustic phonetics. And the third branch studies how it is interpreted in the brain, from the ear to the brain. This is called auditory phonetics. So we have articulatory, acoustic, auditory. I close the bracket now. Question. what is had she these questions are probably will be useful if you have general questions, because one of the general questions that you can have in phonetics and phonology is what's the difference between phonetics and phonology. You see, so what is the difference between phonetics and phonology? Okay. Yes, okay. Mustafa says speech sounds versus sound patterns. Let me probably say that in an easier way. Let's take the example of the sound P. This sound P, isn't it? P like in party. I am using this to illustrate the difference between phonetics and phonology. Okay? So in phonetics, phonetics is the study of the physical properties of a speech sound. I repeat, phonetics is the study of the physical properties of a speech sound. زيدوا عندكم هذه regardless peu importe ما شغلناش في la langue. We don't care whether it's in English or in Arabic. No. Phonetics deals with this sound as it is. It's like taking this from this part here and studying it. We don't care whether it comes from the pen or from something else. You understand? So it studies, number one, it studies individual sounds. It describes them. Phonetics describes them. For example, it can tell you that this sound here, as we will see later, is produced with the lips. We'll have a word for this, don't worry. This sound, for example, does not involve the vibration of the vocal cords. That's number two. This sound, of course, is when it is produced, the two lips block the air. The air is blocked. Are we talking here about in which language it occurs? No. So when we study phonetics, we don't care about the language. We study the sound in isolation from, the individual language. We don't refer to in Arabic, something like in Arabic, it is like this, in English, it is like that's not phonetics. Phonetics, the business of phonetics is to take P and tell us whether it's white or black or, do you understand? Look, let me explain to you. Okay, let me explain to you more. If you take this pen here, phonetics would say, well, in this pen includes, a lid. This is called a lid which is blue in color. It involves a stem with words written in black, you see? And of course, it has an end, a plastic end. So that's what phonetics do or does to speech sounds. For example, in doing this, a phonetic approach to this forces me not to say that we use this to write. Or in the classroom, we use this with the whiteboard. That's the functional part of it. Phonetics, just describes. Give it anything and it will describe it. That's phonetics. Is that okay? Good. Phonology, of course, phonology knows the lips, knows these vibrations and everything, knows that there is a blockage of the air, etc. But phonology, it takes this for granted. It's like phonetics prepares the ground for phonology. Phonology takes this sound. It does not look just at the physical components there. No, phonology is concerned with the function of the sound. For example, it can say that P exists in French like pouvoir, but it does not exist in standard Arabic. شفتوا l'approche راه ماشي بحال بحال. Phonetics does not talk about this. Phonetics, it's not its business whether it's a basic sound or does exist or does not exist or whatever. No. In other words, in phonetics, we don't study the behavior of a sound. In phonetics, we study the physical components of a sound, the physical makeup of a sound. واش بيض ولا كحل ولا voiced, voiceless, as we will see, and phonetics stops there. Phonology takes over. It takes the sound, they say زجي لهنا, Yes, you are nice, you are black, white, etc. أجي هنا. So here you function like this. You exist here, you don't exist here, etc. So we will see these things. In other words, phonology studies the function and the patterns, let's say the function of a sound in a given language. جوج حوايج في الفونولوجي. Function عقلوا على function, عقل على independent languages or in languages, specific languages. Phonetics, no. Description, describing the physical characteristics of a sound, and it does not refer to their function, and it does not refer to different languages. Okay? دابا انا هذا ما قلت لكم لا عربيه لا انجلي لا سيت لا فونيتيك. So after this introduction, I would like now to move to the basic things, the basic elements that a student has to know in phonetics in order to be able to answer the exam questions in the best circumstances possible. And I wish you all the best, my dear friends. All right. Good. Now, so phonetics, you remember when we're talking about syntax? Syntax, what is the object of study for syntax? It's sentences and the components of sentences. Sentences, phrases, etc. That's syntax. Phonology, no. It's the speech sound. So phonology, phonetics and phonology فاش كيشتركوا بجوج بهم كيدرسوا هذا القلم هذا بجوج بهم، ولكن واحد فيهم كيقول لك هذا زرق من هنا فيه الكتابه هكا، الاخر كيقول لك ودي هذا كنستعملوه للكتابه. So phonetics is involved in description. Phonology is involved in the function. Do they have something in common? Yes, it's the both of them. It's the objectors. Both of them study the same thing. But one of them deals with it this way and the other deals with it the other way. Okay. Sinafia says in phonetics, Mustafa says in phonetics we describe and classify speech sounds. Yeah, it's true. We describe and classify. That's absolutely right. We're coming to these classifications, of course. Sinafia, we have phonology looks at how speech sounds function in patterns. That's true. Also, very good. We have Si Badruddin Traiqi, the great Badruddin. Also, so phonetics, particularly articulatory phonetics, deals with sounds, while phonology deals with systems. Well, yeah, that's true, Sivadar. But I just wanted to look for an easier way to make our friends, understand these things better. But I didn't want to refer to functions, to patterns and systems on purpose, of course. This way, I think our friends understand the job of each of them. So both of them, they are related. They are like cousins. Okay, one of them studies the physical aspects, and the other one studies them in specific languages, as a system or in a system, within a system. Thank you so much. Okay, now we move on to point one in phonetics. In phonetics, as I said, the unit of analysis is the speech sound. I talked to you about speech sound, so I should not repeat it. F is a speech sound, is not a speech sound. باش نقول لكم شنو هو speech sound. Now, speech sounds split into two major families. We have two major families of speech sounds. Okay, we call them major split. Okay, we have vowels and we have consonants. So we have speech sounds where you have vowels and then you have consonants. Vowels and consonants. We will talk about the difference, of course, between vowels and consonants. Since we are dealing with phonetics, we will deal with these things and then with each family in a row. We will talk about consonants and then we will talk about vowels. We will describe consonants and we will describe vowels. Let's start with consonants. Please, I need your attention now. I need your strict attention. I need your ears here. So we will deal with consonants. Click console. We refer to them in Arabic as as-sawamit, and vowels are called the sawa'it. Okay, so consonants. How do we describe a consonant, ladies and gentlemen? I need your attention here. In order to give a description, a satisfactory description for any consonant, we need to talk about three things. We need three adjectives. How many adjectives do we need? Three. So each consonant has to be described using three adjectives. What are these adjectives? Number one, criterion number one, le critère الأول سميتو voicing. Voicing. I will come back to this right now, so don't worry. Criterion number two is called place of articulation. Place of articulation. Articulation. Again, we will come to explain it. I hope today we will be able to finish this with some exercises, of course. I need you to do the exercises today. You will not go until you do. You work on some exercises. And the third one, of course, is referred to as manner of articulation. La manera de articulación. Manner of articulation, okay? Good. So let's start with voicing. Fine? Yeah, Otman says C. All right. Okay, I think that the notion of a natural class is a paramount. That's not really. Sinafia, that's probably after the description. Natural class is preferably, a concept that needs to be for pedagogical reasons. It's better to do it this easy way, and then we will move on to what is difficult. Okay, Sinafia, it's good to start. As teachers, some of you are already teachers, I guess, but those who are not, when you are given this responsibility of teaching, work with this principle of introducing easy things first, because students need to build on that too. But if I get into natural class, so many students may not, I'm afraid, okay, I suppose, starting from my experience, they may not be able to understand natural class. So let's start with this voicing. What is voicing first? C'est quoi voicing? Okay, let's talk about voicing. Voicing refers to what happens to the sound when the airstream, when it is in the form of the air that comes from the lungs, it gets outside of the mouth and it reaches the throat, the middle of the throat. Here we have a box here, okay, called the larynx, okay. So it's here. We have a box here. For men, it protrudes like this, and it's called Adam's apple. Okay. Ladies, they have a smaller one there. Okay. That's why their voice is very shrill, very shrill. The man, the voice of a man resonates. Okay. So we have. When I was a BA student, I could describe the. Yeah, that's true. But this will depend also on a number of factors, Mr. Nafia, including whether you are interested. I remember I was doing these things at the level of S1 because we did that in spoken English, but different professors deal with these things in different ways. But anyway, so for voicing, as I told you, voicing is one way of describing what happens here. We have a box here called the larynx. Okay, the larynx. Larynx. The larynx is a box that we have here. This box contains two big muscles, les muscles, juge les muscles, two muscles here, two sets of muscles. These muscles contain very small, very thin cords. They are referred to as the vocal cords. الحبال الصوتية, the vocal cords. What happens here? The two muscles can exist in two. نشوف بعد واش كيف. Do you understand me, my friends? Type 1. أنا كنهضر بالضبط مع الإخوان اللي طلبوا مني لو كور اليوم اللي عندهم امتحان. الله يخليكم. واش فاهمين ولا ما فاهمين؟ مزيان. أوكي. غير شي جوج ثلاثة صافي كافي. Very good. Okay. So this larynx, this box here. This box here can exist in two states, two possibilities. Look at this. Possibility number one, the two muscles, okay, it's something like this, the two muscles, you know, with these vocal cords, the two muscles like this, they are far apart. They are far apart. هذه كتكحز هنا هذه هنايا. Okay, far apart. What happens? The air gets through this space. The remaining, there is a small space here, so the air gets like this from this space freely. The air moves freely. Okay? That's state number one. I will come back to this, but let me move to state number two. State number two, okay, so this is one. State number two, the vocal cords are not apart, they come together. I'm sorry, they come together. كيتخلطوا هذا. بلاتي نبين لكم هذه عافاكم مزيان. Sorry, I need to نذكروا شوية العمل. Okay. So we have something like this. هذول الحبال الصوتية بزاف millions. And now the air moves freely. How? Air moves free. The vocal cords are far apart. Here, no. Here, the vocal cords are not far apart. They come together. They come closely together. Okay? They unite. What happens? The air that moves from here it moves freely because there is no obstacle. Here, no. Here, it does not move freely because there is an obstacle. What's this? These are the vocal cords. So when the air pushes through this state here, we hear the vocal cords start to vibrate because the air makes them move like this. And when they move, they make a sound audible. Okay? So when I have a sound like you can't hear anything. If you put your finger here, when you say, there is no vibration. It means when you say, the air moves freely. It moves freely from here. And these do not vibrate. يتخلوا له الطريق. Ils ont laissé le chemin libre. Mais هنا لا. Say, and you put your finger here, say, for very. These vibrate. So here, the vocal cords are not far apart and the air does not move freely. This is why you hear these audible, this vibration. There is a test for you on the day of the exam, for example. If you don't know, if you can't decide whether a sound is voiced or voiceless, I will see what voiced or voiceless is. You know, if you want to see to know whether a sound involves vibration or no vibration, just put your finger here. Like there, I can hear this vibration. For 3, no vibration. All right? I hope you understand this. All right? Good. So we refer to the sounds that do not involve vibration. We call them voiceless. 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 This is voiceless. علاش voiceless? Because there is nothing to block the air from moving freely. That goes. This one, no. It's not voiceless. It's voiced. Why voiced? Because the passage of the air is constrained at this level. Hello, Mr. Saeed. I hope you are doing well. Si Khalid, thank you. Yeah, that's true. So here, we have voiced. هنا عندي voiced. هنا voiceless. Okay, good. Sir, what about? Yeah, I'll come to that. دابا نبداو بهذا مستر حسن. نبداو بهذاك صافي. دابا هنا غيشرح لكم كومون هاد الفويس تو فويسليس الشرح ديالهم راه ماشي غير جاو وقالوا هذا راه فويس هذا فويسليس. لا، راه داك الشيء كلشي مبني على هاد الفاكتس هادو. L'anatomie ديال لا gorge. So let's just start now. Let me see if a sound is voiced or voiceless. So let me start with the. Okay, so we have p, and then t, and then v, and then f. Okay, and then v, and then z, and then ch, and then g. Okay, let's work on these things together. Let's see if they are voiced or voiceless. My friends, remember that if you want to know whether a sound is voiced or voiceless, all that you need to do is put your finger here, pronounce it for 2-3 seconds. You will hear the vibration or you will not hear the vibration. Let's start. Is there any vibration? No vibration. No. Sleep. Power. ماشي ما تنطقوش لو ا غير ب. No voicing. So here, this is what? Voiceless. This is voiceless. The. Oh yes, that's one way of saying that. Yeah, especially when you want to see which one is voiced and which one is voiceless. You are absolutely right. That's true. Okay, so this one is voiceless. The voiced. Why? Because you can hear the vibration here. It's as if you have swallowed a phone set on the vibration mode. Okay, so here it's voiced. T is t voiced or voiceless? T, voiceless. T is voiceless. Voiceless. Z voiced or voiceless? Z. You can feel the vibration, so it's voiced. The like there. The is voiced. So the here is voiced. Like in 3, no vibration, it's voiceless. Yeah, t is voiceless. You are right. Yeah, that's true. T is voiceless. ما بيناش لكم هذه voiceless. Yeah, it's voiceless. That's what I said. Okay, th is also voiceless. Th is voiceless. Ch. No vibration. Ch. J, there is a vibration, but ch, no vibration. So here, this is voiceless. G, voiced, because there is vibration. Is that okay? Have you understood or not? Is that okay or not? Yes, very good. Okay, good. So I guess you know now what voiced and voiceless is. Life is good if you know it, because this is the basis for a number of things. Okay, nice. So we talked about number 1, voicing. So let's check it. We have successfully completed that. Thank you. All right. Yeah, life is easy now. Thank you. Number 2, حيت عندي 3 في الكونسونانتس 3 الحوايج. Okay. Number 2, place of articulation. Place of articulation اللي هي بالفرنسية le lieu d'articulation, بالعربية مخارج الحروف. All right, my friends, okay? So let's talk about this. And I leave this part for explanation so that it will be, nice. It will look nice. Generally, when we want to describe a consonant, we refer to 3 criteria. The first one is voicing, the second one is place of articulation, the third one is a manner of articulation. We have covered voicing, now we are in place of articulation. Place of articulation simply refers to where the tongue or the articulator that moves, we call it the active articulator. Active articulator refers to the organs that move when we talk. For example, the lips, do they move or they don't move when we talk? Of course they move. When I say I have to move them. Do the teeth move? Imagine the teeth move when you talk. No, they don't move when you talk. So they are not active articulators. Does the tongue move when we talk? Do we move our tongue? Of course. Why? Because ما فيها عدم. لسان ما فيها عدم. So it's popular now. Okay. So we call the organs, the parts of the mouth that move, we call them active articulators. Active articulators. We refer to the elements, to the components of the vocal tract that do not move, we refer to them as passive articulators. So we have a difference between active articulators, the one that moves, and passive articulator, the one that does not move. Good. Now, what is place of articulation? Place of articulation refers to what part of the mouth is involved when we produce a given consonant. We have different parts. We will talk about them right now. Now let's start from the outside. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at me. Just look. I will say, am I saying t or d or g? No. You will say either this person here saying m or saying p or b. That's all. You don't know if it's b, p, or m. But one thing you are sure of is that when I produce this sound, I am using my lips. Okay? Now, am I using only one lip or two lips when I say p? Can you say p with one lip? Impossible. You need how many lips? You need two. Okay? So that's why we have the adjective from lip. If someone asks you, I have a problem in the lip, we say, I have a labial problem. From there comes lèvre in French, B becoming V over history. Lèvre, labial. En espagnol, on dit labios. Okay? So labial is the adjective that describes the lips. Lip, leb. Okay? Labial lips. Because there are people who hear bilabial, but they don't know what that means. So we have labial and we have bi before it. Bi, ça s'écrit comme bi, bi. Think of bilingual. Who is a bilingual? A bilingual is the one who speaks two languages. Why do we call it a bicycle? Because you have bi, جوج الروايد, and cycle, bicycle. Bilabial, two lips. So sounds that are produced by making use of two lips are referred to as bilabial sounds. Okay, for example, we have, so let's talk about bilabial here. Bilabial. All right. For example, you have the sound p, you have the sound b, b, and then you have the sound m. Okay? If you want to say p, you need two lips. If you want to say b, you need two lips. If you want to say m, you need two lips. So we said p is a bilabial, b is also a bilabial, m is a bilabial. Thank you. Okay? سالينا ولا ما ساليناش؟ نديروا مراجعة عفاكم. That's how I teach phonetics. دابا هادو عرفتيهم ياك؟ واخا. دابا غنكومبينيو نراجعوا الأولى والثانية. Okay? So p is what? ها هي p is what? نستعملوا هذه. Is it voiced or voiceless? We say that p, no vibration, so it's voiceless. Place of articulation, bilabial. So this is bilabial. نشوفوا هاد ب. B is what? B. There is vibration, so it's voiced. B is a voiced هي bilabial م م there is vibration رموك هذاك ماشي غير vibration م is very strong, so we say it's a voiced bilabial. M is a voiced sorry, is a voiced bilabial. Okay, this one is a voiced bilabial. So هذه voiced bilabial, voiced بحال هذه. That's why I put these things. Okay, so this is bilabial. عارفين bilabial ده شنو هو ولا ما عارفينوش؟ Bi, two, and then labial, lip, lip. Alright, it's the same origin. It's just that b and v in French have undergone changes over history. Very good. Let's move on. When I have this sound f and v, how many lips do I have here? Do I use? How many lips do I use when I say f and v? One or two? F. You just imagine you don't have this at all. Can you say f? Of course you can say f. So how many lips? This lower lip. But this lower lip needs to meet the upper teeth. You see? So when the lower lip meets the upper teeth, the place of articulation is the lower lip and the teeth. So part of it is labial and the other part is teeth. What is the adjective that comes from tooth or teeth? It's dental. Dental. From there comes the French word les dents, avec un T à la fin. Dientes in Spanish, right? So, dental, la médecine dentaire, dentifrice, you have these things, don, etc. So, the adjective from tooth is dent in Latin. So, a word like, a sound like f and v, you need the lower lip and the upper teeth. Okay, that's why we call this type of sound that is produced by the lower lip and the upper teeth, we refer to it as labial and dental. Labiodental. Okay, so let's talk about that. Labiodental. Usually here you have f and v. These are the labiodentals. F and v are labiodentals. Why are they labiodentals? Because when you produce them, you need to use your lower lip and your upper teeth. Okay? Thank you. All right. Let's move on now to the exercise. F and v. F. Let's see whether it's voiced or voiceless. Voiced or voiceless? There is no vibration, so it's voiceless. So f is a voiceless labiodental. This one is, I don't know where I can write it. Anyway, it's voiceless. Interdental, labiodental. I'm sorry. Labiodental. F is a voiceless labiodental. V, as Hajar says rightly, thank you, is a voiced. Why voiced? Because of V, there is a vibration. Nice to see you here. Thank you for joining. Okay, so we have voiced labiodental. This is a voiced labiodental, this is a voiceless labiodental. أهلا أستاذة حسناوي أميمة. Hello, thank you for joining us. Thank you, you are welcome. Everyone is welcome here. Do you understand, my friends, now? I think you do. All right, so let's Let's clean this out. Okay. We also have sounds like th and th. Look at this. When I say th, what happens when you say th and th? What happens is that you are placing the tip of your tongue between the upper teeth and the lower teeth. So, barakallahu fik, Nuni Nunus. Thank you. Thank you. So, when you place the tongue between the upper and the lower teeth, okay? Upper, lower. Do we have lips here that are involved? No lip is involved. You can say th even if you don't have lips, or your lips are deactivated as a result of the anesthesia from a dentist, you know. But you see, so you can't, no, the lips do not get into the production of, yeah, I'll talk about that, Ruqiyya. I'll talk about that. All right, very good. So we are talking about interdental. Inter, c'est entre. متمجد entre بالفرنسية. Entre in Spanish. So entre les dents. Interdental. So here you have interdental like this. In English, we have interdentals, th, and you have the. And for so many speakers in Moroccan Arabic, this is difficult to produce in English. They would say number 3, 1, 2, 3. My friend, that's 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 3. Okay, same thing here. Th, the, these are interdental sounds. Revision, th is what? Voiceless interdental. So, yeah, you say thank you as well. So, th is voiceless interdental. The is voiced interdental. Is that clear, dear friends? I think yes. Let's continue the journey. Ruqiyya asked a question. أنا غنقول الكتابة ولكن my friends, if you don't understand for the moment, no problem. Yes, it's a labial. بالحق, it involves what we call a secondary articulation. This is just secondary because you have w being a labiovelar glide. W is a labiovelar glide. We will talk about that later on. That's true, Hanan. Yeah, that's true. Hanan, Mrit, you are absolutely right. That's true. Hajar also. Very good. Yes, you have the point. You made a point. And and also the. Since we have people who speak Tashlhit here, there is a little joke here. You know that the Egyptians, don't say Ustad, they say Ustaz. Yes or no? And some Tashlhit friends, I say friends, but anyway, some Tashlhit, young people, once heard Kulthum singing the song Ya Zalimni, and in Egyptian it's Ya Zalimni, and they thought that she was talking about onions. You saw that the song was about onions because azalim in Tajahit is for the word onions. Ya zalim. Okay. All right. Nice. Let's. Yeah, really funny. So let's continue, please. Let's continue. Okay. Interdental. Let's continue, please, with another class. هذه فيها بزاف شي شويه. Yeah, that's true. They are laughing at the joke. Nice. You listen to this, please. If you put your tongue in the place just behind your teeth, your upper teeth, you put your tongue there, and you will feel that there is something that looks like a little mountain. Okay? There is something that looks like a little mountain behind the teeth. Immediately, there is a bone, at where your teeth end and where your gum, la gencive, منين كتبدا داك la gencive, you see, the point behind is, so this is, there is a little mountain there. It's called the alveolar ridge, as Sumia rightly says. And we have a friend here. I don't know whether he is with us. He called himself the alveolar ridge. He's a phonetician. So this little mountain there called the alveolar ridge, as Sumia has written, correctly or rightly. This alveolar ridge, it's the place on which we put our tongue, the front part of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, when you want to say t, d, s, z, and n. Repeat with me. T, d. إلا لاحظتوا معايا your tongue ما كيتحركش to the forward and backward when you say ت د ن. غيقولوا ت د ن راه غير الطونغ غير كيقيس تما وصافي it doesn't retract and it does not propel itself forward. ت د ن بحال اللي كتلعبوا بشي كره هكذا في نفس البلاصه. Yes or no? All right. So بلا المسعودي سميرة دقيقة عافاك ولا منت. أنا ما متفقش معاك على ل and ر. عندهم ان تريتمون بوحدو هادو دو بريفيرونس. They are not purely alveolar. I'll talk about that. هادوك باش نجيك نيشان واخا ما تفهموش بور المومون انا غنرجعوا ل and n. Le lieu d'articulation, place of articulation for by the way, they belong to a class of sounds known as liquids. And liquids are distinguished on two types. I'm sorry, Hanan, اسمحوا لي. Yeah, اسمحي لي Hanan. Yeah, I always have this problem. So, L and R كيولي عندهم another place of articulation later on. علاش غادي تسميو داك ل it will be called a lateral liquid. فينا هي alveolar ما كايناش. والر غادي نسميوه retroflex liquid. فينا هي alveolar ما كايناش. دونك علاش ما نسيمبليفيوش لي choses en disant que les alvéolaires, the alveolars that are pure alveolars are s, z, t, d, and n. Okay? So we call these alveolar consonants. We also have many R. We will talk about that. That's manner of articulation that comes at the end of the... Of course, we have a trill, and we have a flap, and we have a tap, and we have a retroflex, of course. But you think it's good to talk about these things now? No, because we have friends who are beginners and who want to learn these things first. شوف اللي ما عرف هذا الشيء بلا ما يمشي لا الفونيتكس لا الفونولوجي لا شي حاجه نجيكم نيشان. بغيتو معقول ما فهمتوش شي حاجه هنايا ما كاينش تمشيو للفونولوجي. الفونولوجي مبنيه على هذا الشيء. So عافاكم let's go step by step, but I'm happy بعد هذوك الناس بعد ديجا كديروا هذوك لي كونسيبت اللي هما شويه افونسي. It means that you have what to say in phonetics. But because I have at least 53 people watching me here, many of them are grappling with these things, so it's good to clarify them, in a slowly but surely fashion, as the Uthman has said. Anyway, that part of the mouth known as the alveolar ridge, it's the place that we touch our tongue with when we produce t, d, n. قولوا معايا t, d, n. You will find that the tongue is in the same place. T, d, n. It's the same place. See, same millimeter. So we call these sounds. We call them alveolars. So we have alveolar, alveolar. And the alveolars that we have are t, d, and then you have s, and then you have z, and then you have n. تم بعد هذا غادي يولي nasal تنبت ولكن سي alveolar. It's an alveolar. أهلا سي بوسال. Thank you for joining us. Thank you my friend. Okay. دابا نديرو ان exercise عافاكم. Let's do an exercise. Let's work on an exercise. T is what? نبداو من الأول. Voiceless alveolar. Voiceless alveolar. I'll come back. That's very important. غنقول لكم شنو هو الالفيولار والكورونال. Thank you for this very important question. بالحق هذه يستحسن نشوفوها في distinctive features. راه جايين عافاكم راه اللي دار فونولوجي راه سي سيغ غتكونوا ذا تو ديستينكتيف فيتشرز كاينه ولا ما كايناش كاينه شور ام انسرين ماي سيلف ديستينكتيف فيتشرز راه تبازاو على هادشي دابا غير خليونا الله يخليكم نديروا هاد القضيه هادي من بعد نمشيو للديستينكتيف فيتشرز فوزالي ميتريزي ديستينكتيف فيتشرز على رقبتي كونوا هانيين اوكي اوكي let's revise these things t voiceless alveolar t is voiceless alveolar d is what d d yes d is a voiced alveolar voiced or voiceless voiceless because there is no vibration voiceless alveolar voiced alveolar vibration so it's voiced alveolar t. Okay now let's move on can غير move on يلا very good so let's finish our list here okay so let's finish here كيفاش غنديرو دابا فوالا زائد هادشي يلا دابا حنا غاديين backwards C is a voiceless alveolar that's true I think yeah we need this we cannot start building yeah that's true Sir Othman I take that from me anyway just put your tongue just put your tongue on the alveolar ridge to say t yak and then or let's choose s حسن بحال سعيد s alveolar ولا ماشي alveolar s is an alveolar هاي try to all of you my friends try to say s and immediately after say sh and then sh rapidly yalla do it now you will feel that your tongue is going forward and backward ماشي بحال فاش كتقول س ز the tongue does not move but in s sh the tongue moves backward and comes forward and moves backward etc yes or no s sh you will feel that say yes if you feel it yeah okay Hanan says yes yeah Othman says yes yeah thank you okay this place where your tongue ends or the point to which the front part of the tongue moves backward to say sh is called the hard palate or simply the palate it's called the hard palate so the sound sh is it alveolar لا ماشي alveolar it's a palatal sound علاش because you put the tongue at the palatal in the palate you make it close to you make contact or you make it close to the palate not to the alveolar ridge so if you get tomorrow imagine this scenario happening it's the most unlikely scenario but just imagine you get out of your house and somebody meets you can you differentiate between s and sh okay s and sh your answer should be that s is both of them are voiceless but s is alveolar and sh is palatal I'll talk about post-alveolar one. I'll talk about post-alveolar because there is a little bit of a confusion when it comes to post-alveolar. Some phoneticians do not because إلا قلنا ليها post-alveolar حيت حتى تش غتولي حتى هي post-alveolar دابا de préférence call it palatal عاد فاش نكمل هذا الشرح هذا غتمشيو لي نوت ديالكم على حسب داكشي اللي دار لو بروف باش ما ديروش شي حاجه ما قالهاش لو بروف تو سامبلومون دونك هادشي اللي قلت راه سي عليه اجماع بيان سور مي يا دي جون كي ديز اودي هذا راه بوست الفيولار كاين اللي غادي يقول لك it's palatal. C'est même pas palato-alveolar. Je vais pas dire palato-alveolar pour ch. Ch, c'est pas palato-alveolar, c'est pure palatal. We will come to this. We will come to this. Okay. So we have لا ما عندناش four palatals. ما كاينش four palatals. كاين غير جوج. اسمحوا لي. In English we have just two palatals. We don't have four. Okay. So we have palatals. Let me write it here. Palatals. البالاتالز علاش دابا هادو ما درت لهمش سوليني وهذا سوليني قرا هادي so let me palatal حنان says the professor says it's a palatal هادو palatal كاين confusion بين post alveolar كتكون بلاصه اخرى غنمشيو ليها ان شاء الله. Okay, very good. Okay. Paris tourism admin. You administer tourism? I don't know. You work at a touristic agency? Okay, nice. So palatals is the place that your tongue gets in touch with when you produce the sound sh. Look at how you write it. Sh and j. Yeah, okay. Absolutely, yes. So we have sh and j. اسمعوا لي اسمعوا هذه بلس كاين واحد الساوند كنسميوهم الجلايدز تنشوفوهم ابخي مي سعيد الى غيزون سي سعيد قال لنا حتى ي عافاكم ماي فريندز السي خالد تو هذه راه ما كنطقوهاش ج في لا فونيتيك ما تزربوش وهذه ماشي ز هذه سي ج هذه ي ج ي اوكي الا بغيتي تقول بالعربيه انا جاي خصك تكتب هكا ماشي زاج نو انا جاي هكا كتكتب ج and then ي anyway you forget about that. So palatals, this one is a palatal, this one is a palatal, this one is a palatal. Okay, let's revise now. Let's revive. Usada Umayma is with us. Thank you. Nice that you are with us. Okay, sh is voiced or voiceless? It's voiceless. So sh is a voiceless palatal. Shh, no vibration. Shh, scared. علاش كنقولوا sh؟ علاش ما كنقولوش j؟ Because there is no vibration. ما كيتسمعش دليل على الصمت. Okay, so I'm this is one way of explaining it. I mean, it's not okay. So sh is a voiceless palatal. J vibration, voiced palatal. Voiced palatal تا هو أكثر من voiced هذا ولكن voiced. Okay, have you got my point? Nice, perfect. Let's move on. Okay. There is a type of sound, or there is a class of sounds which we pronounce by articulating part of it at the level of the alveolar ridge and the other part, the other 50%, at the level of the palatal. We have two in English. We have ch and we have j. So when you have ch, if you pronounce it in slow mode, العرض البطيء, ch, you would say it's a ch, and then sh, like chagru, as Uthman said, t and sh, t, sh. But we have just one sound. So we have actually two in one. Okay? So this type of sound, the place of articulation for this type of sound, إلا قلنا عليه باللي ch is an alveolar. البالتا يقول لك مالك انت كتقول alveolar حتى انا عندي حقي تما. وإلا قلتي عليه palatal يقول لك أودي واش أنت مالك. You see alveolar أنا عندي حقي تما. So here the place of articulation of ch we call it an alveopalatal. Alveopalatal. Yeah, that's true. Sharafi, Mustafa, you are absolutely right. It's like wait, stop. شوف لا سي عبد اللطيف. ما بغيتش نهضر على ستوب فريكاليتي باقي ما وصلناهاش. دونك باش الاخوان نمشيو في نمشيو ديريكت للفونولوجي وهذا. We need to build these things. Yeah, you of course it's a stop of fricative. I agree with you, but I don't think we should say it here for the moment. على الأقل في هذه السيونس اللي كنهضروا عليها هذا الشيء. But thank you very much and you are abs and I would really agree with you. مزيان شوف. We call this type of sound ch. الناس كاين اللي كيقول ليها alveopalatal حيت كنبداو من هنا دخلنا من الليبس من بعد teeth من بعد كندخلوا لداخل. alveo عاد palatal. كاين اللي كيقول palato alveolar بجوج بهم صحاح. دونك اللي قال palato alveolar صحيح اللي قال alveopalatal حتى هي صحيحه. palato alveolar alveopalatal المهم يكونوا بجوج. No problem with that my dear friends. Is that okay? Is that okay? Palato alveolar alveopalatal no problem. Some professors would call this post alveolar. In your case, the ones who have an exam, just to tell you the truth, get down to your notes and see whether your professor has used alveopalatal or palatoalveolar, or he or she has used post-alveolar. Yeah, Zubair, exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. دابا شاك بروف راه بجوج بهم كيتستعملوا بهذه الطريقه هذه. دونك كاين اللي كيقول لك بوست alveolar كاين اللي يقول لك alveopalatal. صحيح سي خالد العربيه. شوف السي خالد it says our teacher says post alveolar. What's the difference? شوف let's open a bracket and discuss. Both the view or the approach that uses post alveolar to include sh, j, ch and j راه عندهم الحق. علاش؟ لان عندي alveolar وما بعد الالفيولر ش. واش هي alveolar؟ لا هي مورا الالفيولر. You see تش راه حتى هي الى اخره. دونك هذه صحيحه. الفرق فين كاين الفرق هو فاش كنستعملوا alveolar والpalatal. palato alveolar ما كنستعملوش post alveolar. هنا اون ديتاي هنا كنفصلوا شي شويه. post alveolar بحال اللي كنقولوا داكشي جمله ما كنفرقوش بين post بين alveol بين palatal والalveopalatal. post alveolar راه جامعين فيها البالاتال والالفيوبالاتال. You see دونك التقسيم راه هو هذا اللي بغى يجمع ولكن داك الشيء غادي تتبعوا لو بروف لانه هو اللي غيصحح باش ما نديش تقليد كما تقولوا. قال لنا امروز امروز قال لكم تبعوا لو بروف ديالكم الله يجزيكم بخير. فيري جود باش نكونوا واضحين كلير. Is that okay my friends? نايس اوكي لا هنا لا في السينتاكس يعني نقدر نقول شي حوايج مختلفين شي شويه ولكن الفو ميو اوكي. المهم كل واحد كل بروف زعما ديروا داكشي ديال لي بروف ديالكم لان هما ادرى وهما عارفين علاش وهما يسي. Okay. Oral cavity, we use it to just distinguish between the sounds that are produced by the oral cavity on the nasal cavity. Yeah, okay, you are responding to someone else. Okay, that's very nice. Thank you. مزيان الوضوح راه مزيان في هادشي. Good. اما زعما واش شكون اللي صحيح راه بجوج بهم صحاحين باش نجيكم الاخر. حيت الفونيتيشنز are using both. كاين الاكثريه كيستعملوا ديك post alveolar نقول صراحه mais ça c'est un peu plus détaillé. Yes, okay. So you follow your professor in this regard. That's what will solve the problem. Can we continue, please? So palatals عندي هنايا alveopalatals. كاين شوف واش نطرح لكم. كاين لي بروف اللي كيشدوا هادشي كلشي كيسميوه بوست alveolar وصحيح هادشي. alveolar هادشي صحيح حتى هو صحيح. بون انا صح. Now alveopalatals. In English we have two. We have this ch and then we have j. Ch and j. Let's revise. ch is what? Is a voicelet or voiceless? Ch, ch, ch. That's what. This is a voiceless. Voiceless alveopalatal or voiceless palatal alveolar بجوج بهم صحاح. لي بروف اللي كيقولوا post alveolar هذا غيكون voiceless post alveolar. صافي؟ هذا voiced post alveolar, voiced alveopalatal, voiced palatal alveolar. كلشي دايز. All right, let's move on, please. Let's move on. Asma says voiceless. Of course, she is referring perhaps to ch. All right, let's move on. Alveopalatals. كيفاش كنكتبوها? Now we will go one point further in the mouth. We will end up in the highest part in the mouth, the central and the highest part. It's called the velum or the soft palate or the velum. Velum. كتكتب هكا velum. Velum. It's where the bone ends and flesh meet. I mean, flesh starts. كاين واحد البلاصه رطبه شي شويه at the back of the mouth upwards. This is called the velum. And this is exactly the place that the central part of the tongue, the centre ديال الtongue, le centre ديالو, the centre محتاج the back, actually it's the back, not the center, it's the back part of the tongue, touches when you say k and g. K, g, you will feel that the back of the tongue, الفرونت كيكون هنا ممكن تشوف في كاع كتشوف tongue, but its back, it's the one that raises to touch this part here called the velum. So اللهات, yeah, the velum, it's not the blade, it's not the blade side, it's the one, the back, unless you are talking to someone here. So the sounds that are produced by the velum are referred to as velar. ماشي فيلار ديال داك لا فواتور اللي سميتها فيلار. There is a car by the name of Velar. Okay, so velum, we talk about velar sounds. Velar sounds. Velar sounds. Oh yes, thank you, Mr. Marwan. Bravo عليك Marwan, thank you. So we have velar sounds. Yes, velar. Velar sounds, absolutely. In English, we don't have two. Thank you, Marwan, for reminding me. We have three in English. We have k, we have g, and then we have this one here. هذا اللي عنده هذا بحال الفيل. Okay, ng. It's a ng. It's a ng like morning. You say English. I speak English. إلا جا عندك شي واحد قال لك I speak in English قول واش من English واش انت. So English, this sound, it's an allophone as we will see in phonology. See, English. Okay, so this one, if you want to say k, g, and ng, if you say them rapidly, k, g, ng, your tongue again بحال داكشي اللي درنا ت, d, n, k, g, ng, you know, the tongue does not move anywhere, which means that they have the same place of articulation. They are all velar consonants. Okay, so we say that k is a voiceless velar. I mix them up with dorsals. Now, dorsals are distinctive features that we will see in phonology. You see, that's different. So k is a voiceless velar. Yes or no? G, voiced velar. Ng, voiced velar. Is that okay? Voiceless velar, voiced velar, you know these things. All right. Fine. Can we move on, please? Let's move on. And then we have glottal. إذا رجعنا بالعربية راه ما غاديش نهضروا على العربية بيان سور باسكو غاب عندنا مازال لينا حتى phonetics. Yes, إن شاء الله morphology is very easy إن شاء الله. So we have عندنا شنو من العربيه، ما عرفوش درتو الساوندز ديال العربيه. عندنا مثلا حرف الخاء خ وغ، هادو كيتسموا يوفولرز، يوفولرز. وعندنا حرف العين والحاء in Arabic اللي هما pharyngeals. دونك حنا نركزوا غير على ديال لونجلي. دونك كاين اخر واحدين نشوفوهم هما الجلوتلز. جلوتلز شنو هما الجلوتلز؟ الجلوتلز comes from the glottis، داك ليسباس اللي عندنا فاش كيتفرقوا هاد لي دو موسكل اللي درت عليهم. You see, this is called the glottis. We have some sounds that are produced here at the level of the larynx. In English, we have two sounds. In English, we have the sound, this one here, and we have the one that looks like a question mark but without a dot. كيديروا بحال question mark. هذا وهذا. نهضروا عافاكم على هذا. Yeah, Asma, yeah, is writing that sound, I guess. واخا. Can you see this? Head sound هذا. A lot of people think that the h sound in English is like the h sound of Arabic, which is not true. In Arabic, we have hirun, الهاء, الهواء, طلق, is voiced in Arabic. It's voiced. In English, no. In English, we have the same sound, but in English, it's voiceless. You don't say come here. You say come here. Here. You see? How are you? I come here. How do you want? It's not how. It's not how do you want. Otherwise, you will be mimicking a dog. Sorry, a pet. I'm just joking, right? Okay, nice. So it's in English, it's how. It's not how. In Arabic, it's هذا. All right. أهلا هاجر. Hajar, I guess that you are also, you and your classmates. I wanted to send you a message, but something happened and I forgot. But please, later on, you can share this with your friends who also asked me, Hajar, Behlul, who also asked me they made the same request for phonetics, phonology. So you can share this video with them later on when the live session ends, or you can do it right now because we still have some time together here. Here, here, okay? So this one here is voiceless. Voiceless glottal. Voiceless glottal. What is h? H is a voiceless glottal. Okay? And then we have the famous one. The sound. It's like the one that some English accents. In some English accents, you have I will meet him. I will meet, not meet. It's meet. I will meet him. That bottle, that one is good. Not that one. The t is pronounced here. So this one is referred to as a glottal stop. It's just a glottal for the moment. Glottal. هذا الساوند هذا ديال الهمزة الساوند الوحيد الذي لا يحق لنا أن نقول عنه واش voiced ولا voiceless. علاش؟ حيت سي با لوجيك، سي امبوسيبل. علاش؟ باسكو voicing is the responsibility of the vocal cords. ياك؟ راه ما يمكنش الفوكال كوردز يحبسوا داك هنايا او ميم طون يفيبريو ولا ما يفيبريوش. واش فهمتون؟ دونك عوض نستعملوهم في الفويسين كيديروا لا فونكسيون ديال بلاي. They function as a place of articulation. So the only sound where you cannot say whether it's voiced or voiceless is the glottal stop. لا, it's not a choix. No, it's not a choix. No, c'est pas un choix. Okay, good. Nice. So can we move on, please? نموفي ولا بلاش؟ My friends, tell me, are you tired? Sir, I have a question. Go ahead, Jihad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Jihad has a question. Yeah, let's move on. Jihad, our professor calls her and a وكمل لينا. لا ما قلايد ما والو. لا هذوك عمرهم ما كانوا جلايدز، غيكون غير غلطتي في هذا وصافي. جو بونس با. ما هذوك ماشي جلايدز. and they are not glides, they are glottals. واخا كنت دخلتوا لك مع الجلايدز السي جهاد. اوكي جهاد. اوكي فاين. let me هذوك كيتسموا glottals ما جلايدز. نو what question are you asking سي سعيد؟ اوكي صافي سالينا هادشي. ندوزو للتروازيام كريتير. عرفتي الا سالينا هاد لي تخوا اليوم راه سكسيس. فايزه says yes. اوكي فايزه ما ديرش نتصمد دير حد اثنين اخوان. answer me please. I don't know if it's cold there or in the place where you are. Faiza is my neighbor in my native town. She is also a student of English. She's doing English and she is doing great. Okay, nice. Let's move on. Let's move on to the third one. Saeed, are you answering someone? I guess there. Come on, بيناتكم. شوف بيناتكم. Yeah, you can continue chatting. Let me come back here. Yeah, Hajar, we're talking about manner of articulation. Donc, yeah. So we talked about number one, voicing. Then we talked about number two, place of articulation. Place of articulation. And then now, why am I writing it this way? Why am I writing this way? Okay. Let me be pedagogical. That's smooth. Okay. Nice. I think it's getting now warmer. That's really nice. Okay. So we talked about voicing. We talked about place of articulation. Now we're going to talk about manner of articulation. Manner of articulation. Manner. In German, manner is the plural of man. It's not mannen, it's manner, just like that. Okay, never mind. Manner of articulation. Okay. Okay. Ready or not, I need to see three ones. 3 ones. I mean 1 1 1 1, just to see that you are. I have a feeling that you are not concentrating. Maybe there can un décalage. Anyway, very good. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Manner of articulation. لا تنشرح لكم بهالطريقة. Oops. Sorry. نشرح لكم بهذا ديال النظاظر وهذا التليفون هذا ياك صافي. Okay, now just imagine I have two surfaces that touch each other like this. Can the air, if they are 100% touching each other, can the air move from here, from this place? No, the air will not move because it's blocked. It's really blocked here. Okay, sometimes, okay, wait a minute, if I just raise it a little bit, just some millimeters, هكذا, will the air move? Yes, it will move, but will it move freely 100%? No, the air moves, but with some difficulty. Now the air will move freely. This is exactly what happens in our mouth. Sometimes we allow the air to move freely. Sometimes we allow the air to move, but with difficulty. And sometimes we don't allow the air to move at all. Okay? So when I say, yeah, the airflow, yes. When I say, for example, the 2 or 3 seconds or so when I pronounce p, the air does not move out of the mouth at all. Hi, na. He says, hey, you see, the air does not move. out of the mouth. It's blocked completely. There is a complete blockage of air in the mouth. Okay? So when I say P, the air stops from moving from phloem completely. Okay? So we call these types of sounds where the air is blocked 100% completely, and then after it is released, we call this sound with consonant, we call it a stop. Its manner of articulation is that it's a stop. How it is produced, that's the manner, it's by stopping the air completely at the mouth and then releasing it. Okay? So we refer to that as a stop. Is that fine? So let's talk about the first one. It's called a stop. We don't say explosive, no, it's just plosive. Plosive. Say stop or a plosive sound. You know, you at advanced level, because there are languages that have an implosive, that's probably the opposite of explosive, but I don't think it's relevant to say explosive in this regard here. So stops and plosives. Okay. Why? Because when I say P, when you release the sudden air that is released, it's like a pump. It's released like a little bit of a plosive sound there. But you know, the safest way, the general term that we use here is the stop. If you stop, you are safe. Yeah, thank you, Said. Yeah, it's better because I'm explaining it. You know, the word stop englobes everything. Okay. For example, you can say that, for example, a nasal is a stop, but is it a plosive? No, it's not a plosive. Is a stop. Is it a plosive? Yes, it is a plosive. So, but the actual manner, the actual the feature or the description that has enjoyed wide popularity among phoneticians is the term stop, the manner of articulation stop. In French, كيتسميوها une plosive, plosiva in Spanish, but they can also use they call it also كيفاش يسموه une plosive ولا كيسميوه une consonne une occlusive, une occlusive, une occlusive simple. En français, on dit une occlusive simple. Une plosive, une occlusive simple. But the term, the very sophisticated term, is the one that is made by Lady Foged and by others, famous phoneticians. They are referring to stops. Okay, good. So stop is the neutral way, and it's going to solve problems. Okay, so we have a stop here. Let's count the stops that we know. So P is a stop. P, stop. What's the counterpart is B is also a stop. Can I say Th is a stop? No, Th is not a stop because look at this. The air does not stop. The air stops. Very good, very good. Okay, good. So we move. T is a stop? Yes, it is. T is a stop. D, is it a stop? Yes, it is. S, is it a stop? No, it's not. Z, is it a stop? No, it's not. Sh, j, they are not stops. Ch, j, they are not stops. Only 50% is a stop, so we cannot call it a stop. K is a stop. Yes. K. G is a stop. All right. We have this one, this one here, the glottal, like me, you. That's also a stop. All right. So what is a stop? اسمعوا لي عفاكم. اسمعوا لي اردوا البال لهذه الله يخليكم. A stop is a sound that is produced by blocking the air completely اسمعوا 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 completely at the level of the mouth. نعود by blocking the air completely at the level of the mouth. It means if the air continues through the nose, no problem. So, can we say that m is a stop? Answer, yes, m is also a stop. Why? Because we stop the air through the oral cavity. No air from here. From here, yes, but ماشي شغلنا, because the definition of a stop is that it shall not cover the mouth. So we can add m here as a stop. Can I add n as a stop? Yes, of course. No air from here, but it comes from the nose, so it's a stop. Can I include n as a stop? Yes, of course, because no air comes here, but it comes from here. So n is also a stop. So these are the stops of English. Revision. نديروا واحد الريفيجن ياك. Revision. Let's revise. P is what? نديروا voicing, place, manner. صافي؟ يلا بسم الله. P. Voiceless. باينة عليه. Voiceless. Place of articulation bilabial. اكتبوها عندكم. P هذه. نبقى ندير عليهم السيركل. هذه. Voiceless bilabial stop. Voiceless bilabial stop. يلا اكتبوا عندكم. Voiceless bilabial stop. Now this one here. B. Voiced or voiceless? Voiced. علاش؟ حيت عندي vibration. B. So it's a voiced. Bilabial. Voiced bilabial stop. Voiced bilabial stop. Look, I repeat from the beginning. P is a voiceless bilabial stop. B is a voiced bilabial stop. T. Is it voiced or voiceless? T. No vibration, so it's voiceless. Place of articulation. You put the tongue at the alveolar ridge, so we call it an alveolar. So T is a voiceless alveolar stop. I repeat, T is a voiceless alveolar stop. Okay. Now نمشيو نشوفوا D vibration. So D is voiced. What's the place of articulation? It's alveolar. So D is a voiced alveolar stop. D is a voiced alveolar stop. Very good. K, voiced or voiceless? K, no vibration, voiceless. So K is a voiceless. Place of articulation قلنا عليه بلي سي velar. Okay, K is a voiceless velar stop. Voiceless velar stop. Okay, K, voiceless velar stop. G is a voiced velar stop. Voiced velar stop. This قلنا الvoicing does not apply. Donc غنسميوها a glottal stop. This is a glottal stop. Glottal stop. الوحيدة اللي ما فيهاش الفويسين اللي مهنية أنا من الفويسين هي هذه. دونك هذه it's a glottal stop. Glottal stop. Okay. Voiced or voiceless? It's what? It's a voiced. It's bilabial and it's a stop. Even if the air comes through the nose. It's a voiced and it's alveolar لأن كنديروا لساننا حدا البلاصة اللي كنطقوا بها ت and ن. Okay, so it's a voiced alveolar and it's also a stop. علاش? Because the air does not come from mouth. N is a voiced velar stop. Okay. هاد ثلاثة بالضبط عندهم واحد الحاجة جمعهم. إلا لاحظتوا فاش كنهضر عليهم كنقول لكم even if the air moves through the nose. Et c'est pour ça كنسميهم كما قال السي عبد اللطيف كنسميهم nasals لنازال nasals. Okay, we call them nasals. So كنقولوا على is a voiced bilabial nasal. هنا كنستعملوا nasal باش ما تخلطليش انا مع اللي هي حتى هي voiced bilabial stop. الا قلنا على هذه voiced bilabial stop راه غيوليو بحال خصهم يديستينغاو. ودونك هنا كنقولوا عليهم هادو nasals. Do you understand or no؟ ما كنقولوش عليهم ستوب لان الاير كيجي من هنا. واخا هي ستوب ماشي ستوب بالحق. The stopness involves the air through the mouth. Murad, not now. Distinctive features naturally come after this description. Of course غنهضروا على هادشي كلشي ان شاء الله. اوكي صافي سالينا هادشي ولا لا؟ انا بديت كنعيا شي شويه بالحق. نكمل معكم المانر اوف ارتيكوليشن الاخرين. باقي لنا واحد جوج ولا هذا، ولا الا بغيتو نخليو حتى الصباح نجيو اللي بغيتو. Tell me who would like I need to have a vote. غادي نحسب 6 ديال الناس ولا 10 ولا شنو. نشوف كونتينيو. الا كان دابا ديروا واحد، الا بغيتوني نكمل دابا هذا الشيء ديروا واحد، بغيتونا نخليو حتى الغدا ديروا جوج. يلا I'll take a little break. Vote once. Vote once. Vote once. The majority are in favor of. The majority are in favor of now. يلا نكملوا إن شاء الله. يلا ماشي مشكل. صافي فهمتوا هاد ستوبس. سير صافي. ماشي مشكل نكملوا هاد الشيء باش كومسا يبقاو لنا حوايج اخرين فوق. نو بروبليم. نحن في عطلة anyway. Okay. صافي بارك عليكم. You have voted enough. Okay. Oops. So this is one type of manner. It's called a stop. Number 2. So I told you when I talked about this, هما درجات. They are degrees. إلا كان complete closure, it's a stop. الأير ما كيفوتش من الأورال cavity. You see, that's the thing. Now, if you open just a little bit here, the air will move, but it will move through difficulty. Yes or no? Look. Just imagine you are at home and it's very windy. There is a lot of wind outside. And you close the doors, you close all your windows, and you have nice windows and solid windows. You might hear the air, but you will hear, that's fine, you will hear, you may not hear it. But just imagine you have a window that is a little bit broken, or that is slightly open, and the air moves through that. You will hear, yes or no? Or when you are, for example, driving and you open the window slightly, the car window, you can hear, that turbulent and disturbing noise. Yes or no? So this type of noise, it's called, it's a turbulent noise, of course, and it's the result of the air moving with difficulty. Yes or no? I am sure that you blew up balloons when you are young. Yes or no? So when you take a balloon and you blow it like this, you blow it and you throw it, you will hear the sound. You will hear a sound, but it's not shrill. But when you blow up the balloon and you extend its, I'm sure you went through this. When it deflates, the difficulty of the air moving makes you hear a noise. That is really sometimes disturbing. If you put it near the ear of someone, it will be really disturbed. So it's this difficulty of air movement that makes it create a sound. This sound, it's people describe that as a friction. You know what a friction is? A friction. So what you hear from this is a friction. الاحتكاك between two surfaces. This is called a friction. That's why these sounds are called fricatives. Okay, علاش سميناهم fricatives? Because they are the actual, the sound, it looks like a friction. Okay, so let's talk about fricatives. شنو هما fricatives? Fricatives are sounds that involve air movement but with difficulty. It's not free, it's not blocked, but it's partially blocked. بحال إلا كنسدو 96% 97%. hissing sound, hissing ماشي حاسين. Hissing sound is it's a class, it's another class of consonants that we will see later. So we have fricatives and fricatives. Fricatives. So what do we have in fricatives? We have f, v, thank you. Someone wrote them. Natalie has written them. Thank you. And then you have s, z. And then you have sh. And then you have j. And then you have th. And then you have the. You see, these are the fricative sounds that we have in English. So let's describe, let's revise. Revise or not revise? Revise. Let's say. F is what? It's a voiceless. F, place of articulation. F, labiodental. So F is a voiceless labiodental fricative. V is a voiced labiodental fricative. S is a voiceless alveolar fricative. Z is a voiced alveolar fricative. Sh is a voiceless palatal fricative. J is a voiced palatal fricative. Th is a voiceless interdental fricative. And finally, th is a voiced, voiced interdental fricative. And we forgot this. H in English, you are right, Sautman. H in English is a voiceless glottal fricative. Yes, that's Sautman, you are right. But except that you have to say voiceless because in English it's not like Arabic. English h becomes voiced only when it happens, when it occurs between two vowels, as we will see in phonology. Thank you, Sim Middleser. Thank you so much. فاهمين شنو هما الفريكاتيفز ولا ما فاهمينش؟ فاهمينهم I guess. Okay, let's move on please. Let's move on. خلينا نزيدوا واحد 10 دقائق. Comme ça, on sera tranquille. Okay. All right. Number 3. We have a class of sounds. We have a class of sounds in English اللي شفناهم قبيله اللي فيهم مواتيه مواتيه بحال تش and ج. 50% are t and the other 50% are j. إلا كانوا مواتيه مواتيه في البليس خصهم يكونوا عاوتاني مواتيه مواتيه فاش في المانر. t is a stop. sh is a fricative. تش جا معهم بجوج. Okay, very good دوجة, very good. الله يخليكم. Either شوفوا اسمعوا. So this is called affricates. Look. اللي سمعتوا ولا شفتوا كتب affricative وهو خطأ شائع فمصيره ماذا؟ البلوك. بقاش تقولوا affricative عفاكم يا fricative يا affricate, not two. Okay, so affricates. How many affricates do we have? They are rare anyway. In English, there are just two, which are ch and j. In German, you have ts and ts, you have ts and you have f. Apfel, for example, for apple. And Zug for the train. It's not Zug, it's not, All right, so ch and j. Fine, we have to be happy that we have to celebrate. Now, let's revise. Ch is what? Voiced or voiceless? Ch, voiceless. Ch is a voiceless. What's the place of articulation for ch? Ch is a voiceless. You see, you have tsunami. But the tsunami is a borrowing, so we can tolerate that. Yeah, tsunami is a borrowing, so we cannot say that ts exists also in English. Okay, so ts is what? Ts, my God, ts. Natalie Wakhali. We are talking about ch and j. Ch is a voiceless alveopalatal. ولا palatal alveolar بحال ولا post alveolar as Uthman said, since your professor says post alveolar. احنا post alveolar ممكن هنايا وي as a place of articulation. بالحق افريكت راه ما فيهاش جوج. Okay, nice. So I repeat, ch is a voiceless, alveopalatal صحيحة, palato alveolar صحيحة, post alveolar صحيحة, ça dépend على لو بروف ديالكم شنو دار. And it's affricate. أما فاصون نقول لها this is a voiceless alveopalatal affricate. اوكي سي عثمان قال لك ما قالش بوست الفيولر قال الفيوبالاتال. it is alveopalatal yes. مي كاينين دي جون اللي كيقول لك بوست الفيولر داكشي ما نقولكش داكشي صحيح مي سا ديبون على الاستاذ. هادشي سا ديبون على الاستاذ. ج is what? It's a voiced alveopalatal palato alveolar or post alveolar affricate. دونك هذا affricate هذا affricate. هذا alveopalatal palato-alveolar or post-alveolar, the same thing here. Both of them are affricates. Okay. لا palatals for palatals إلا كان هذا الش or ج they are palatals. هادو لا وهاد لابارتي هادي غيبقى فيه الحل صاحبي إلا قلتي هذا palatal وهذا bon I think you know شوف غير لي نوت عافاك شوف غير لي نوت اللي خديتي. Anyway, yeah, let's move on please. Let's move on. So you have this. عندنا جوج ديال لي palatals. Let's move on. نمشيو troisième manner of articulation. Let's talk about glides. Glides. شنو هي the verb to glide? What is the verb to glide in English? علاش سميناهم glides? It's good to know. To glide means to retract, to move a little bit backward. To mean something backward, it's to glide it. So when you say y and w, the tongue retracts somehow. Y, w, you will have to feel it. Say y, and you will see that okay, thank you, Saeed. Are you leaving us or why are you saluting me? Okay, so the tongue moves a little bit. It's millimetrical. So in English we have these two types of glides. عندنا جوج ديال glides اللي هما و and y. W and y. These are glides. To slide, yeah. To glide, to slide, yeah. You have, yeah. It conjures up some movement there. So w and y are glides. Yeah, for nearby points. Anyway, الحمد لله واخا ما عرفتوش بالضبط شنو هو عندك غير جوج هنايا. De toute façon عندك و and y. They are glides. They are also referred to as semi-vowels and semi-consonants. بالحق اللي كيجمعهم هما الجلايدز. عندنا جوج in English. What is what? دابا عاد نشوفوا هاد هو اللي هضر عليه واحد الصديق ديالنا جو سي با واش سي عثمان ولا سي سعيد جو بونس واحد فيهم. بون what is what? If I want to say w in English, thank you, Sisai. Thank you very much. That's mutual. The respect is mutual. Thank you. If I want to say w in English, I have to have two articulations in my mouth. I have to use the labials. 50% of w is labials, as Uthman says rightly. Yes, w. But at the back of the tongue, the back part of the tongue also raises. It doesn't touch, but it just raises somehow in the direction of the velum. ما كيوصلش بحال ك عندنا هكا كيلصق في الفيلم. But in w, no, it just raises. It does not touch. So we have two parts of the mouth that are involved here. That's why we refer to it as labiovelar glide. So w is a labiovelar glide, a voiced. This is called a voiced labiovelar glide. So here we have labiovelar velar, and this one here is palatal. علاش palatal? Palatal because if we add just one point forward غنطيحوا في ش غنوليو ش غادي نوليو consonant ش. Okay, so that's why some people who say e, they use the e sound e. I don't know if you have heard the French people, sometimes they say merci. When they say it in the Slovos, it's like the e becomes a sh sound, merci. Okay, it's because they are closing the mouth to a point where the the tongue propels one notch forward to produce a sh. So sh is palatal, y is also palatal because it goes in that direction. Okay, so we say that w is a voiced labiovelar glide, y is a voiced palatal glide. Palatal glide. Okay, nice. Can we move on, please, to the other one? Okay, palatal glide. Yeah. Number 5. سي مصطفى داكشي جاي في الطريق ان شاء الله، ما تخافش ما تخافش، كلشي غادي نصوب، كلشي غادي we will try to work out everything. كاين واحد class of sounds that is referred to as liquids. liquids ها هما. آخر حاجة نديروها هي liquids. إلا نسينا شي حاجة نعاودوها غدا. Liquids. Liquids in English there is a class of sounds called liquids. شنو هما هاد liquids؟ liquids هما عندنا جوج ديال sounds as I said هما l and r. l is a liquid, r is a liquid also. Okay, yeah, l and r are liquids. Yes, so we have l and r. These are liquids. And historically واش عرفتوا هذه ولا ما عرفتوهاش؟ هاد r historically developed from this. Initially, in human languages, we have this, from which this developed. And in child language acquisition, this one is acquired before this one here. And I just looking at Hajar here. You have our friend Hajar. And if there is a little kid, boy or girl, who is just learning the language, then they cannot produce r, so they call Hajar would be Hajal, you see, Karim would be Kalim, etc. Okay, so this shows that this one here, there is a relationship between the two. There is a strong relation between the two, of course. This one usually derives from this one. So these are called liquids. Now, there is a difference between l and r in terms of the place of articulation, of course. Rice, lice, you have that. Thank you. That's true. Ottoman. So l. ندير واحد تجربة عفاكم. That's why r is derived from l in the form. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Jihad. That's true. Yeah. They are not... when you have data, it's calibrated on languages. It's not haphazard. When I have... okay, if I ask you كلشي ولا قبل داك الشيء عندي واحد I have a question concerning the adjective that we derive from the word side. ردت عليه واحد الفيديو. Donc the word side, the adjective is what? ماشي sidal. It's lateral. La latérale in French. Lateral هي l'adjective ديال side. That's why we have bilateral relations. Okay, واخا رقية, I'll come to that. We have bilateral, يعني from two sides. Unilateral from one side. Okay, a long time ago it was possible to declare divorce unilaterally. Uni means one. It's one of them says I divorce, then the divorce. You see, for example, a unilateral decision is a decision from one side. So the adjective from side is lateral. That's why in French, I don't know if you have this culture of this passion for cars and for, you see, you have les airbags. Les airbags فيهم les airbags frontaux in French et les airbags latéraux. جات من latéral يعني هذوك اللي من الجنب كيتسموا les airbags latéraux. Un airbag latéral. Okay? In medicine you have سي maladie الله يحفظنا ويحفظكم كاين une sclérose latérale amyotrophique اللي هي واحد الجنب ديال المخ there is a problem with the damage there. It's called la sclérose latérale. So you know that lateral means one side. دابا عرفنا هذه. Yes or no? I guess yes. نديروا واحد التجربه انا وياكم غادي كاملين اللي the people who listen to me you will pronounce the sound L for 5 seconds. Count. 1 2 3 4 5 عاد يلا ديروها. You will feel as you do it now as you do it you will feel that when you produce the sound L, the air moves from one side of the tongue and the other side is closed. Try it and tell me whether this is not true or not. So this is why say right. والو ما جاوبتونيش. True, they say true. Okay, that's why L is called a lateral liquid. It's lateral. When you pronounce it, the sound moves just from here. You try it for a long time and it's going to work. Okay, good. So L is a lateral liquid. كنكتبوها هكذا lateral هكذا lateral liquid. And its brother or sister, when you pronounce r like in read, the English r, if you want to pronounce r, what should you do? You will feel it again. Say r, and you will feel that this is your tongue, you are curling it backward, you see, and upward and backward. هكذا. Sorry, هكذا. So it's backward. You have the word retrovisor ديال الطوموبيله. علاش كنسميوه ريترو؟ حيت عندي retro means backwards. Okay? وعندي retrograde in French and retrograde in English هي القهقرة كتسمى بالعربية يعني كترجع عوض كتقدم كترجع you retract. Okay? You go retrograde. And of course, since the tongue is flexible, it's not fixed, we say retroflex. Retroflex, يعني it flexes, en français c'est fléchir, it flexes backwards. Retroflex. R is a sound that is produced by, flexing the tongue upwards, backwards. Retroflex. So we have two types of liquids, the lateral liquid and the retroflex liquid. The lateral liquid is this, L, and the retroflex liquid is this. So this one here is a voiced lateral liquid. This one here is a voiced retroflex liquid. Evaluate this session in one word, please. I need to see 2 or 3 words. بلا مجاملة بلا حتى شي حاجة. يلا دغيا باش نمشيو. Have you learned something from it, or you think that it's just a restatement of the things that you already know? Okay. Duja says it's a good session, informative. Yalla, 2 more adjectives. The best. Khalid says thank you everyone. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Okay, so we continue in our next session. Anyway, if there is going to be a session, most likely there will be one. But if something happens, because there is a plan, I don't know, I'll just write to you an apology or a confirmation of tomorrow's session. But I will accompany you anyway before the exams. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much indeed. And let's meet tomorrow, inshallah, unless there is an emergency, which I hope will not be the case. Bye-bye, everyone, and I wish you all the best in your exams.